What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Toshi today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Okay, here we are at about 30362 right now on this day, the 24th of April. We broke out. We saw a little breakout move 2 days ago, right on the 22nd of April. We did not get any continuation, and now we're back testing prior areas of resistance for support, and it looks like we're getting that. Right, I want to look at some short-term stuff before we get into the longer-term stuff, and then we'll continue on. All right, and I actually want to use MEXC because MEXC has more data. um, I guess for short-term stuff maybe MEXC wouldn't be helpful. We'll use Bybit. um, let's see. And it's not that it wouldn't be helpful. I'm sure it's the exact same chart, but I trust Bybit a little bit more because it has more volume, right? There's more volume, so the price might be better represented. Does that make sense? Um, 4 hour RSI getting overbought, not getting oversold. Very, very bullish circumstances here. Overall, you're getting higher lows. Yes, looking good, bouncing here. I like that. I like that a lot. It'd be nice if this hour could close green on the 4 hour. You're only up 2.3%. And you have an hour and 24 minutes left. So if in the next hour, if by the time you're watching this 4 hour candle is red, then that could imply that we're going lower, and we might have a little bit lower to go. But I would think that the 40 area holds. I don't think that you go below these lows here, right? You actually had a lower low here in the RSI, and higher low in the price. That signaled continuation. What I really think that you're doing here is you're just finding support at prior areas of resistance here, prior areas of resistance here, prior areas of resistance here as well, and even a little support right there. So it's somewhat of a significant area, relatively speaking. If we're looking at this low to a high, you're down at your 0.5. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. You don't look to find support at the 0.5 often, but crypto for whatever reason has been finding support on its 0.5s a lot. And I often do say if you don't expect to find significance there, but if you get significance at the 0.5, you get significant results. And this bullish engulfing candle seems to be rather significant so far. Let's see if it can continue and push the price higher. I think that it will. I like the RSI. All that to say, I like the RSI on the 4 hour. The 1 hour time frame, bullish divergence. Yes, you can see it. You've got higher lows here, lower lows there, bullish divergence. No wonder you're moving up. As you're moving down, as you're correcting, there's no volume coming in at all. Let's see if on the way up you can get some volume to come in. The fact that there's no volume right now, I'm not worried about it. But if you are to start, let's say, getting above 0.0038 up here without volume, if you make like higher highs like this without volume, then that could look bad. That could look like you actually will inevitably go below this. This might be a bull trap. So let's get some volume in here. Let's get some added buying pressure to send this thing up. Again, I don't think that the fact that there's absence of volume here matters too much, right? Really, there's a decline of price and a decline of volume, so there's no interest in the price going up. We're just breathing a little bit here. If we start to recover, that's when we want the volume to come in. It doesn't need to be bigger than this necessarily right off the bat. It just needs to grow. We need it to grow as the price grows. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so and I do think that we're going to get that. I think the 1 hour RSI looks to be in a bullish setup right there. The 4 hour definitely looks bullish. Now we're looking at the daily time frame. Daily time frame from a low to a high here found support at its 0.5 as well. We've closed the last 2 days in a row above the 236. I suppose a good goal for today's close would be to not close below the 236. Do not get below 303629. Don't get below there. If we get below there, that could signal that it could signal a couple of things, right? Maybe we just come down and we form a higher low. We're not ready to break out yet, which boo-hoo, that's not fun, but it's okay. We're still going to break out, right? But we want to break out now. We don't want to back test and come down here and then go back up. Maybe some people want us to go down there so that they can buy at cheaper prices. That's the way to think. That's the way to be right there. But I think it's a good price to buy it now, even not financial advice. We could go lower. If we close back below the 236 like this, after getting a move like this could imply that we go below this low here, and maybe, just maybe, we pull all the way back down to the golden ratio here. Find support at a prior area of support back here, prior area of resistance here, and at the golden ratio. It's pretty possible. It's a pretty possible outcome, man. I mean, I'm just saying that kind of look right there. Overall, I feel like I've seen this kind of bottom happen plenty of times, and you still build from there. So, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. It would not be a bad thing. It would not hurt Toshi at all or its potential oncoming performance if you went below 303. This is not a time to panic. It's a time to buy. If you're going to panic one direction, you should panic to the buying effect, not to the selling effect, okay? If you're worried about this price action and you want to sell here, that's fine, but do not sell here. If you sell here and the price takes off without you, don't be surprised, because I'm not expecting that we go lower. That's not what the call is. I'm just saying if we close below the 236, this becomes a more possible outcome. And even then, it's still not likely, but a more possible outcome. I'm talking about it in case it happens, not because I think it's going to happen. If anything, if we're looking at this for what it is, you got a big wick to the downside. You found support at a prior area of resistance here, prior area of resistance here. I don't think you're going lower. I think everything looks good. I think you really do look good. The daily RSI looks like it's set up to get into the overbought zone. You're finding support at the 50. Now we just need you to continue to grow and see the overbought zone, right? We need you to get away from this area, separate yourself from the downtrend, and really show that you are breaking out. I think that you are breaking out. I think you're in the midst of a move that will take you to new highs. Look at this, right? We're above this 236 You're above 236 on 236s here, right? From the high to the low, you're above that 236. From the low to the high, you're above this 236. Keep closing above these areas. We want you to close above these areas. Don't close lower, right? If you were to close below, again, I think it's like 00036. I forget what it is, but just don't close below 3036. Don't close below there, okay? If you do, it's not the end of the world. It's okay. It's just not what we want to see if we want immediate gratification, okay? High to low here. Where we're going to go is likely the next target area. I think by the end of the month here, we will see prices above 0.515. We might even see targets that are a little bit higher than that at the 0.5 or the golden ratio. You never know. Toshi can move really fast. If you were to see some kind of crazy price action before the end of the month that takes you all the way up to the golden ratio, don't be surprised. It could happen. I'm not calling for that. That's not the expectation, but crazier things have happened in crypto, and meme coins especially so. Crazier things have happened. But the next target area to worry about is the 382. Oftentimes you go just below or just above there, and then you come back to the 236, find support when working your way up to the golden ratio. That puts you in line with a nice kind of higher low setup here maybe. I'm not saying that has to happen, but the next target area to stop at would be just above the 382, right here where prior resistance was here, prior resistance was here, and prior areas of support, prior areas of resistance here. That's a target area of about 305 to 306. Somewhere in that zone. That's where I think Toshi's going to go probably by the end of the month here over the coming days. And then afterwards going into May. Hold on. After this, going into May, you're going to see dramatically higher prices. We're going to move up to around our all-time highs, if not above our all-time highs by the end of May, and then going into June, we'll get some resolution of this overall move here. Toshi is one of the coins that I'm eyeballing to buy. I bought some more cookie yesterday, and I'm glad I did. But Toshi is definitely on the list, right? When I'm looking at all the coins that I focus at here, not financial advice, not a financial advisor. These are not winners. They are potential winners. They might be losers. You might lose all your money if you put your money in these. But this is my list right here, right? Latest and greatest. That's what I titled it. I like all of these coins, all of these projects here from the lowest right there. Shout out to Xano. Xano's a great project, you guys. It really, as far as longevity goes, compared to a lot of these coins, this thing probably has more longevity than most of these coins do. Genuinely, this thing's got longevity. Like I'm looking here, Digibyte up there too. As far as longevity goes, Digibyte, Xano, XYO maybe, LCX maybe, XCN maybe, right? Swift Coin definitely has longevity as well. But as far as all the other ones, they're new. It's hard to say if they do or don't. We got to see what they do, how they perform in a bear market and stuff like that, right? But this one, but anyways, this is my list here. Why was I bringing it up? Oh yes, I was talking about it because I was looking to buy some more cryptos last night before I went to bed. B3 was on the list. Something told me to buy it, right? But I didn't. It's the coin you look at, you think about buying, but you don't buy. B3's up 22%. Good job to the B3 people today. Hint, hint, this is not the coin you should buy. You look at your list of favorite coins that you might want to put money into. You do not buy the ones that are pumping. You buy the ones that are dumping. Terra maybe, Maple, syrup. Well, probably don't buy Maple, but syrup maybe. Stuff like that. But I was looking through this list. Enough of the shenanigans. I was looking through that list there, and I was looking at what has the most potential to grow. Where were the minimum targets? Where were the maximum targets? And a lot of them, I expect a lot of them to do very, very well. But Toshi is between Toshi and Cookie. These are two that I think will outperform the rest of them, right? I think that they really do. Maybe B3, maybe Syrup, maybe XCN does, but I really do feel confident that Toshi has the potential here to not just see a 12x. By the way, that 12.5x, that's the minimum target. That's the small end of the scale, right? That's the low end. Potentially seeing something as high as like a 20x. 19x, that's on the docket. That's actually a very realistic target. And then maybe even reaching all the way up to 1 cent, right? That's like a 27, 28, 29x, somewhere around that area. All of these targets are possible, right? Could you go higher? Sure, but I really do think that Toshi's going to come into a form of its own on this next move up. The minimum target is outrageous. The maximum target is outrageous. And the most outrageous thing about this is that these are completely likely areas to go to by the end of June, at least in my perspective. Looking at this here, if we're looking at it on MEXC, getting a little bit of a scope out here on a 3-day time frame, looking good, looking like you do want to break. This is a nice formation in the 3-day RSI. You're being held down by the 50, but you're looking like, I mean, if you were to reject it, you would have rejected it already, right? You're looking like you're going to pierce through. That could signal some big things coming, man. You only got 9 hours left in this 3-day period, so over the next 3 days, I expect some growth. By the end of the month, we're expecting some growth. Yes, this is all lining up with what we've been saying. Weekly time frame, not a whole lot to go off of because it's so damn new. But you know, you're coming up above the 50 as well. It looks good. It's a neutral RSI. It's nothing really to go off of there. So don't really have a lot. I think we've run our course with this one, right? Everything looks good. We're looking for some support here. We're looking for the next hour and 14 minutes to close above this candle. Bullishly engulf this. Find a low. You did that last time. Bullish engulfing candle signaled the low here. You didn't get it so much this time, but whatever. Bullish engulfing candles are good bottoming signals most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. Most importantly, you need continuation. So just by the end of the day, if you could continue, you don't have to be above these highs, but just continue to grow a little bit, right? And then going into tomorrow, we can celebrate. We'll probably start popping off, I think, tomorrow and over the coming days by the end of the month. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope the message is well received. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. And genuinely, if your question comes to mind, is it a good time to buy Toshi, though? I hope you understand what I was saying with that whole list thing, right? When it came to buying cryptos last night, there was like 3 that I was considering buying. Toshi, it took me a lot of digging and decision making to decide to buy something else besides Toshi. Toshi is a very obvious choice. I think that this thing is going to do very well. So if it's a good time to buy, if that's the question, my answer is yes. That's not financial advice. It's not a financial advisor, but I'm just saying I had a hard time not buying yesterday, right? I really thought about buying more, but I went with Cookie Dow instead. Because again, just me. Let's be fair. I've made a fair share of money in meme coins. Absolutely, especially with Dogecoin, right? Memes have treated me well, um, but I do like to invest in things that have a little bit more of a fundamental value. With that, with meme coins, you get this crazy, erratic, chaotic pumps that happen out of nowhere. You don't really get that with fundamentally backed coins. Some you do if they're not listed on every exchange. You get exchange listing pumps. Um, so you don't have that as much with non meme coins, but the fundamentals, they help me sleep at night, right? And that's what I like. I don't hold a lot of memes these days, which is not like me, but I don't hold a lot of memes these days. I do think Toshi will do really well, but just understand if you're in a meme coin, the idea of a meme coin is you get in and you get out, right? You get in and you get out. Maybe with this thing, don't get out right away. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm sure it'll do well through the end of the cycle. I'm sure we'll see growth through the end of the cycle, but this is not a coin that you buy and you hold and you give to your grandkids as a retirement, as a what do they call that? As a inheritance, right? That's not what this is. This thing does not have longevity built into it. Maybe it does. Maybe we don't know, man. Maybe this is the best meme that'll ever exist in the whole world, but most likely it's just a one and done cycle kind of thing. That's my expectation. So don't forget to take profits. We're nowhere near profit taking areas yet, so don't you worry. At least not in my opinion. But I got nothing else to say. I'm just rambling at this point. Hit the like button, subscribe, and if you're trying to get into Toshi, do so. Do so now before it starts to pump. I mean, that's not me telling you what to do. It's just my thoughts. Okay, bye bye.